Have you ever watched your whole world burn down through the cracked screen of a cell phone? I was sitting in my Ford F-150 parked across from the Drake Hotel in Chicago, the engine cold, the December air fogging the glass. Her text message glowed on my phone, a single sterile line that felt like a death sentence running late. Girls' night went long. Don't wait up. But I knew she wasn't with her friends. I knew because her car was in the valet line of that grand old hotel, and a man I'd never seen before had his hand on the small of her back. The real poison, though, wasn't just seeing it. It was knowing she thought I was a fool. It was the calm, practiced ease of her lie. That was the moment the man she married died. And someone else, someone colder and far more patient, began to take his place. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For 10 years, Amelia was my everything. We built a life in a quiet suburb just outside Chicago. It's the kind of life you see in commercials. A 2-story house, a golden retriever, Sunday barbecues. I owned a construction business I'd built from the ground up, and she was a rising star in a downtown marketing firm. I thought we were a team, partners against the world. But looking back, the signs were there, scattered like breadcrumbs I was too blind to see. It started with the late nights at the office, the client dinners that stretched past midnight. Then came the phone calls she'd take in the other room, her voice dropping to a whisper. When I'd ask, she'd just touch my cheek, her smile a little too bright, her eyes a little too empty. Just work stress, honey. You know how it is? She was cold, distant, a stranger sleeping next to me. She'd flinch when I touched her, her excuses for avoiding intimacy becoming more and more elaborate. She made me feel small, unwanted in my own home. The woman I loved was gone, replaced by a manipulative, arrogant shell who looked at me with something bordering on contempt. She and her lover, a smug wealth manager from her firm named Julian, felt untouchable. They'd even come to our annual company picnic. He shook my hand, smiled his plastic smile, and called me a real stand-up guy. The humiliation was a physical weight, pressing down on my chest until I could barely breathe. One night after another one of her lies, I broke. I locked myself in my home office, the one I'd built with my own 2 hands, and I shattered. The grief was a storm, a raw, howling thing that tore me apart. But when the storm passed, something else was left in its place. Ice. The next morning I woke up with a terrifying clarity. The love was gone. The hurt was gone. All that remained was a single burning purpose. Revenge. I started gathering proof. I wasn't a spy, just a husband who knew his wife's habits. I installed recovery software on our home computer and found the deleted emails, hundreds of them. Hotel reservations, dinner receipts paid from a credit card I didn't recognize, explicit plans. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop, who gave me a file thick with photographs of Amelia and Julian leaving a boutique. Hotel on Rush Street, their arms linked, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. The final piece of the puzzle, the one that armed me for the war to come, was a phone call. It was Amelia's younger sister, Sarah, her voice choked with tears. "I can't do this anymore, Mark," she sobbed. "She's been draining your joint savings account. She and Julian are planning to buy a condo with your money." That was it. The trap was set. I contacted my lawyer and quietly filed for divorce, citing infidelity and financial malfeasance, timing the filing to freeze all our joint assets. The crown jewel of my plan was Amelia's annual charity gala, an event she chaired every year. It was her kingdom, the one place she felt like a queen. This year, I bought a whole table right at the front. When Amelia took the stage to give her speech, beaming under the spotlights, I cued my lawyer. A process server, dressed as a waiter, walked calmly to the stage and handed her the divorce papers right there, in front of all her colleagues, her friends, her entire social circle. The microphone picked up her shocked gasp. Her face, projected onto the giant screens on either side of the stage, went from radiant to ashen. The room fell silent, but I wasn't done. As she stood there, paralyzed, I took the second microphone. "I'd just like to make a donation," I said, my voice echoing through the ballroom. "I am donating the full contents of a file I have hair-a-file detailing my wife's affair with Julian Croft and their systematic theft of our life savings. The photos are quite something." A murmur turned into a roar. Julian, sitting at the head table, looked like he'd seen a ghost. Amelia just stood there, a statue of ruin, as her perfect world crumbled into dust around her. The fallout was biblical. She was fired. Her friends abandoned her. The charity board ousted her. The legal battle was short and brutal. The evidence I had, she was left with nothing. Not a dime. I sold the house. I moved to a small apartment in the city, overlooking the lake. Sometimes I see her. She works as a hostess at a diner off the highway now. The arrogance is gone, replaced by a hollow, haunted look. She never meets my eye. The other night I sat in my car across the street watching her wipe down tables, and I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, just a vast, chilling emptiness. The end.